Hey guys, welcome to my video on finding the slope. Alright, so we noticed how in this slide we've showed you how to find the slope using this formula. Okay, so this is called the slope formula. And so we've done it with 2 points on the graph, and now we're going to do it with 2 points on a table. So you can find the slope as long as you have 2 points. And in this table, you technically have 4 points, so you only have to select 2. It doesn't matter which one you select, but you just got to make sure you're labeling it correctly. So let's begin. So let's say I wanted the first 2, okay? So that means this would be my x sub 1, and this is going to be my x sub 2. And then this is going to be my y sub 1, and this will be my y sub 2. Alright, so to calculate the slope, I need my change in y and then divide it by my change in x. Okay? And then so I have to figure and write out my formula. I would suggest writing down your formula all the time because you will remember it a lot faster and a lot better. Okay? So change in y over change in x. Y sub 2 is positive 3. And then y sub 1 is 5. So I'm subtracting a 3 minus 5. All right, no, I'll figure that out later. And then my x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So x sub 2 is negative 1, and I'm subtracting a negative 2. So when you're subtracting a negative, you should have double negatives there. Okay? All right, now I just have to figure out what 3 minus 5 is. 3 minus 5 is negative 2. And then I have to figure out what negative 1 minus minus 2 is. So negative 1 minus 2 is negative 1 plus 2. And so what we have here is a negative 2 over positive 1, or a slope of negative 2 when you reduce it or simplify it. So this is my slope. I'm just going to write that down for you. M equals negative 2. Okay, so I'm going to now show you that it will be the same exact slope if I picked other 2. So these other 2 right over here. So let me clear this out and let me start over. So my x's are green, so I'm going to say this is my x sub 1 and this will be my x sub 2. And then my y's are red, so this is my y sub 1 and this is my y sub 2. All right, change in y over my change in x. Okay, so I'm going to divide that. Alright, so my change in y is y sub 2 minus y sub 1, and my change in x is x sub 2 minus x sub 1. And I'm just going to keep up with that. Alright, so y sub 2 is negative 1, and I'm going to subtract a y sub 1, which is 1. Alright, my x sub 2 is positive 1, and I'm going to subtract a 0. Okay? Now I'm going to figure this out. Negative 1 minus 1 is negative 2. And then 1 minus 0 is positive 1. And then when I divide these two, they still get negative 2 as my slope. So as you can see, what I started with these two and these two are going to be the same, since this is a linear function. Okay, now I'm going to show you 2 items here, and I want you to try it. So I want you to try to figure out the slope from this function, from this linear function, and from this linear function. All right, so you try. Watch the next video, and the next video is going to have the solution to these two. All right, see you next video.